Hello, friends. Ted Wilcox here again to bring you into another thrilling chapter in our continuing saga of magic, mystery, and the American century. But before we begin, here's Charlie Pulcher with a brief review of our last episode.
Last time, Mickey brought the mysterious tire scrapings recovered from Joshua Norton Park to Fleischberg's luxury Magi-Mechanics, where Rosie Fleischberg quickly confirmed one thing. The hunters she was chasing weren't using ordinary equipment. As the artificer worked to identify the military-grade tires, the two old friends slipped into familiar rhythms, trading barbs, testing dangerous new Magitech, and nearly blowing a hole through the workshop in the process. But beneath the laughter and explosions, Rosie revealed something even more unsettling. Mickey's magic wasn't normal. The way she instinctively transformed objects into powerful magical enhancers wasn't just rare. It might be unique. And as Mickey discovers exactly what her strange abilities may be capable of, the investigation and the danger surrounding it continues to grow. What happens next? We'll find out now.
This is the Mythic Chronicles. Entry 1. Crime Wave.
Chapter 25. Mickey gets a surprise. October 25th, 1951. Mickey and Rosie sipped lemonade as they surveyed the destruction. "I think you've got a real future in this Magitech artificer thing, Rosie," Mickey said. Rosie took a long sip. "Nothing beats a Fleischberg." Mickey nodded toward the marionette-like dummies. Glowing chunks of metal oozed like molten wax, struggling to reassemble. "What about those guys?" she asked. "Poor dears," Rosie chuckled and set down her glass. "Don't worry about them, doll," she said with a wave. "They'll sort themselves out. That last one was your best yet, by the way. Quicker, more stable." "Getting there," Mickey agreed. "It's like tuning a radio. Just need to find the sweet spot." "Practice, practice, practice." Rosie refilled her glass from a conspicuously cracked pitcher. "Get good enough, and someday you'll be boosting powers without a focus. Maybe even someone else's." Mickey shuddered. Rosie's designs were like training wheels, offering just enough stability to move forward. Taking them away? That could get messy. Very messy. "You sure I can't talk you into the magic 8-ball?" Rosie asked, breaking the silence. Mickey blinked. "Oh, sorry. Gotta pass. Where would I even put something like that? Thing's too heavy." Rosie hefted the oversized orb, giving it a shake. "Should she take you anyway?" She flipped it over and read the response. "Outlook not so good." Fine," she sighed. Who am I to argue with such wisdom?" A buzzer sounded. Rosie pulled a device from her pocket, pressed a button, and the door unlocked with a pleasant ding as the defenses dropped. "Over here," she called, tossing the 8-ball. Mickey caught it and gave it a few test shakes. "Am I the greatest hunter alive?" she asked. The die inside drifted lazily, the answer rising to the window. "Ask again later." "Am I destined for fame and fortune?" "Ask again later." "Am I crazy for talking to a 20-sided die floating in a plastic orb filled with blue water?" "Most likely." Jerk," Mickey muttered as something flickered at the edge of her vision. She looked up and froze. A man stepped out from behind the shelving. Handsome, tall, sharp Asian features, and periwinkle eyes. Eyes that held back a darkness. Her heart stuttered. The thing from the park. It was here. "You!" she shouted. As at the park, his shadow lagged, just a fraction too slow, unnaturally delayed as he turned. Their eyes met. Recognition flickered across his face. Without thinking, she hurled the 8-ball at his head. It struck with a dull crack. The plastic sphere bounced away, and the thing dropped like a puppet with its strings cut. Rosie shrieked, but Mickey barely heard her. "It's down. Now's my chance." Calling strength from her bear amulet, she channeled her anima and lunged, grabbing the first heavy thing she could. a still glowing hunk of severed dummy leg. It scorched her palms, but she didn't care. This thing was a monster. She had to finish it. She raised the glowing rod high. Click. She froze. The sound was unmistakable. "Hit him, and you die," Rosie's voice rang out. "What?" Mickey turned. Rosie stood across the room, a massive, enhanced pistol aimed at her head. Her friend, her mentor, pointing a gun at her.
Whiskey's mind drifted in a fog of pain. Why was he cold? And why was he lying down? He smelled cement, molten metal, high-grade cleaners, and blood. His blood? Am I bleeding? Everything hurt. He tried to move, tried to open his eyes, but his head felt like it had shattered into 1,000 splinters, then been dunked in acid. Sound bled in at the edges. Voices, multiple, heated, overlapping. They were shouting. "I'm telling you, this thing is a monster," a woman snapped. "I've seen its truth. It attacked me." Monster? Attacked? Another voice, higher pitched, shaking with emotion. This one was familiar. "What? Michelle, listen to yourself. You sound deranged. Whiskey is a client." Rosie? Why did she sound upset? He tried again. Pain flared. The scent of blood thickened. But his fingers twitched. Passenger, he thought. Why am I bleeding on the floor? The question seemed to unlock something as Passenger's relieved pulse suddenly filled his mind. "You were attacked," it replied, voice tight. "By the woman from the park." The park? No. He was at Rosie's. He'd come here to ask and likely pay for help. And then he remembered the woman. She'd thrown something hard. The dwarf stopped her from doing more damage, Passenger added, tension coiled in every word. "But you're vulnerable, Kenichiro. One more hit, and you'll take more damage than even integrity can heal. You need to move." Whiskey turned inward. He sensed his fifth gift, integrity, burning anima as it worked. The familiar tingle crept across his skull, bone and skin slowly knitting back together, but it needed time. And if Passenger was worried, he forced his eyes open. It hurt. A lot. The world blurred, swimming with color and light. Pain spiked behind his eyes, but he managed. A woman, the woman, stood over him, gripping a metal club. Her stance said she knew how to use it. Her expression said she wanted to. The only thing stopping her was Rosie, who had a gun trained on her chest. "You," the woman started. "You know this guy?" Rosie let out an exasperated breath. "How the hell do you suppose he got past all my wards, let alone Ibrahim and the boys? It would take a deity-level being to breach my security, and those don't get knocked out by magic 8-balls. The woman hesitated, and Whiskey took the opening. Groaning, he lifted his head. The world tilted, but he stayed upright. "Hello, Mrs. Fleischberg," he slurred. "Is now a bad time?" "Don't you fucking move," the woman snapped, raising the club. "Michelle, move one more inch and I swear on my God I will shoot." The woman froze. Whiskey pushed himself upright, teeth clenched as his stomach lurched. She made a frustrated noise. "This thing," she said, jerking her chin at him, "is following me. It must have circled back, tracked me from the park." Whiskey's eyes narrowed. "And you are?" "None of your business, monster," she spat, her eyes flaring gold. "I don't think she likes you very much," Passenger commented. Whiskey ignored it. Maybe it was the headache, or the strain Integrity was putting on his well. Maybe it was the last 36 hours finally catching up to him. But either way, that word had struck a nerve. Monster. His jaw clenched. His muscles bunched. He triggered ambition and moved. One moment he was slumped on the floor. The next he was on his feet. He reached for the club, but she saw it coming. She spun, using the motion to whip the club straight at his head. He might have been impressed if he wasn't so angry. Ambition flared. He raised a contemptuous brow and caught it. Pain lanced up his arm, but the blow stopped cold. Her golden eyes flickered in surprise. "It's going to take more than a cheap shot and a hard stare, bounty hunter," he said, voice low. He was guessing about her occupation, but she wasn't local, wasn't bureau, and she moved like someone trained to hurt people. That didn't leave many options. "And if it's a monster you want," he tightened his grip and yanked, trying to disarm her, but she didn't let go. Their eyes locked. Gold met violet. Neither blinked. He shifted his stance, bracing to throw her. Bang! The shot cracked like thunder, and they both froze. Rosie stood at the edge of the ruined practice range, one gun still smoking, and the other leveled at Whiskey's head. Her voice trembled with fury, hazelnut gaze pinning him in place. "Now listen to me, you ridiculous children. This is my shop, my business, my home." She took in his violet eyes, his aggressive stance, but her expression showed no surprise. "I do not care what you are or what you think each other are. I've made it clear. You are both guests under my aegis. My honor as host depends on your safety. While you're under this roof, my judgment, my word, is law." Her stare sharpened, hard as steel. "You will comport yourself within that law or forfeit the gift of my assistance." Her gaze shifted to the woman. "And my friendship. Forever." The large warehouse went silent, even the background klezmer music cutting off as the threat settled over them. "Interesting," Passenger murmured. "The dwarf already knew you're a mythic. I wonder when she figured it out." Rosie didn't give Whiskey time to dwell. "Now choose," she snapped, "and let it be done." Whiskey blinked, then turned toward the woman. Her eyes were wide, her face pale. "What am I doing?" he thought. "She attacked you first," Passenger reminded. "Yes, and Rosie defended me. Instead of honoring that, I escalated things." Passenger snorted but didn't argue. Whiskey drew a long breath and met Rosie's eyes. "No excuses," he said. He let go of both the club and ambition, then bowed low, eyes to the floor. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Fleischberg." Rosie gave a sharp nod. "Apology accepted." She turned to the woman. Unsurprisingly, the bounty hunter looked torn, wrestling with something. Whiskey had seen her kind before. Bounty hunters who made their living off mythics. Most were opportunists, racists with badges, vigilantes draped in the thinnest veil of legality. But then she exhaled and dropped the club. It clattered to the floor, the sound jarring in the hush. She turned to Rosie. "I'm sorry, Rosie," she said quietly. "You're right. I know better. I just—" She glanced at Whiskey, then back to the dwarf. "I got carried away. Forgive me?" Rosie sighed and lowered both guns. "Of course, doll," she said, softening into a smile. The woman returned it, clapped her hands together, and turned to Whiskey. "Great! Now, how about some introductions?" she said, all cheer. "Since I'm a lady," she winked, "I'll go first." She thumbed her chest. "Michelle McFinn, Mickey to most. And like you guessed, I'm on a contract." She flashed a grin. "Your turn." Whiskey stared at her. The sudden switch from violence to charm, the easy smile, the calm steadiness where rage had been seconds ago, was a little stunning, and he found himself hesitating, slow to form a response. What in the hell's kind of person is this? Passenger hummed thoughtfully. "No idea, but she's certainly not boring." Whiskey took a breath and nodded. He'd come here to speak to Rosie, not get distracted by whoever this woman was, but it looked like he'd have to play along if he wanted Rosie's help. So it would seem. And with the same effort he put into everything, Whiskey schooled his expression into a polite mask and gave the bounty hunter his best smile.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Mythic Chronicles. The story continues every Tuesday and Thursday. If you're enjoying the journey, please consider rating and reviewing the podcast. Your words might help bring more mythics into the fold. To listen ahead, unlock bonus content, and gain access to VIP Discord roles and behind-the-scenes updates, check out our Patreon or visit us at SeanTLaffertyBooks.com. I'm Sean. Thanks again for being here.